Okay, we are going to be painting a cupcake today. So first we need to check to make sure all of our materials are in front of us. Make sure you have your canvas. It should be standing vertical on your easel. Sitting next to it on the easel, you will have a piece of chalk. On your paint mat, you will have red, white, brown, and then a purple and blue. A cup of water, a large red brush and a small red brush, and your paper towels are underneath that. So please let Miss Lawson know if you are missing one of these items. And we're gonna review things about our paint along that we will always be using. So your paintbrushes, every time you finish painting, you wanna make sure that your paintbrushes with the hair down are in the water. They need to stay in the hot tub and soak to get all that paint off. When you pull it out of the water, it is very drippy. So that's when you use your paper towel to dab all that extra water off. You will need to do this every single time we switch colors because we want to make sure that we have a clean brush. Listen, because I will tell you which one we're doing, because we don't want to use the little tiny brush to paint the whole canvas. That would take a long time. We don't want to use the big brush when we're trying to paint the tiny little details. So make sure that you know which one Miss Lawson is using. So we are gonna start with the large red brush, and we're gonna start with the purple and blue. So I'm gonna take my paintbrush on my tray and stir it together in this little area, because I'm gonna make a new color with the purple and the blue. So make sure I don't spread it everywhere, because we wanna make sure we have room to do it. So once I've got it mixed, I'm gonna go to my canvas and I'm going to paint the whole canvas. Of the canvas. So you can either tilt it forward and you got to paint the sides. Make sure you spread any of the thick paint out. Take your brush, make sure that you put it in the water, hair going down. You are gonna pick up your canvas and you're gonna walk it back to the back table to blow dry and make sure this is dry. Okay, to ensure that the purple blue paint is dry, so just make sure if you do this, nothing comes off on your hands. The blow dryer should have got it all dry. Our next step is our chalk. The chalk, when we draw on the canvas, it is great because we can actually just get a little water and wipe off any chalk if we don't like the cupcake we drew. Now, Miss Lawson will come around with her chalk. If you want me to draw it, just wait. I will come around and ask. If you would like to draw it, then go for it. So we do have this big canvas. We don't want a teeny tiny little cupcake because it would be really hard to paint in. So we're going to be drawing big shapes. The first shape is going to be a square, but the sides of the square are gonna be a little angled. So this is the top of your cupcake holder. And then when you go from one corner, you're gonna go at an angle, kind of going in, and then the bottom. So your first shape is a organic looking rectangle square. Again, these two lines are going down in towards. The bottom of our cupcake is smaller. Again, if you mess up, this is what I do. This is gross. I take my little towel, lick it a little bit, and gently wipe it off. You don't need to dunk this in any water. It doesn't need to be super wet. And then you can redraw it. Once you get your cupcake, we're gonna do the actual, this is gonna be the actual cupcake, not the icing, the part of the cupcake that is baked. And then from there, we're gonna add the icing. And the top kind of looks like a shark wave. And then the very top, we're gonna add a cherry circle with a line and a dot. So again, Feel free to try to draw your cupcake as best as you can, or as Miss Lawson comes around, maybe you got one part done and I can help you with the other parts. I will be coming to pick the chalk up so we don't lose it. Just make sure you set it back on your canvas so it doesn't roll off the table. Next we're gonna move in is to painting our cake. So you are gonna use the smaller brush, so make sure you get it out, get all the water off, and we're gonna be using the brown. So get a little brown, and I'm gonna follow the line I drew, trying to cover up the chalk. I don't wanna leave. Okay, then make sure this gets into the water. And then we're gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna move into the cupcake. Okay, now we're gonna be moving into the actual cupcake liner. So this is when we're gonna be using our big red brush. So you've got to make sure you bounce it gently off the bottom of your cup to get all the purple blue paint off. Then dab it on the paper towel. So make sure it is all clean from the previous paint. Now, we're gonna take our yellow, and we're gonna fill in. Make sure you put that in the water, and then we're gonna be moving to the white, which is our two icing shapes. So again, you're gonna need a smaller brush. Make sure you get all the brown paint off the small red brush, dab it on the paper towel. And next we're gonna go to the white. This is gonna be our icing. Now you have two choices. You can make white icing and just use that, or you can pull a little red. Watch how I do this. I take my white, I pull it down, take a little bit of red, pull it in to make a pink icing. So depending, don't use all your white, don't use all your red, just a little bit, and mix in the middle, and you can make pink icing. And again, so again, yours can be pink or white. I'm gonna wash this off because the next color we're gonna use is the red. And I wanna make sure I have all the pink off. So bounce it and wipe it. Now I'm just gonna use just red because the cherries are red. Very carefully, I'm going to follow that line. Okay, make sure all your brushes are in the water to get blow dried so we can get this, all these colors dry before we jump into our last detail, which is adding the black lines to kind of make it look more like a cupcake. So I've added an orange brush to your brushes. So you can see it has a very angled, pointy tip. We want to try to use that edge. We don't want to use the flat side. We want to use the point. So I've added black on your tray, and you're going to use that black paint, and we're going to follow the lines we drew with the chalk. So now with a cupcake liner, if you've ever seen it, it's kind of like these lines that go top to bottom. So inside your yellow cupcake liner, you want to add vertical lines going top of the cupcake holder to the bottom. And I'm going to outline my action. The last detail is adding your signature to the bottom. Now, be careful. I'm not going to write Miss Lawson across the bottom. Yes, I want to know that Miss Lawson drew this, but I just want to add my initials. So I'm keeping the small orange brush, keeping the same color. And on the bottom corner, let's zoom in some, right down here, I'm going to write my initials. You may have to prop it off the, so very carefully. So you don't want to make it bigger than your actual cupcake. I don't want to write my name across or across the cupcake, but just in the corner. So to let everybody know, this is my art. So we're gonna blow dry it one more time. Cleanup is making sure that all the paintbrushes are soaking in the cup. Miss Lawson will show you where to dump the water out in the sink and where to put the brushes to soak all the paint off. The paper towels and the paint mat, these two items are trash, so please throw these things in the trash can. You will be taking, once we blow dry it, you will be taking this with you. We're gonna take a picture of us. Again, Miss Lawson would have picked up the chalk.